Good morning and welcome to the Big Bear Yarns podcast, episode 9. I'm Anna, the dyer behind Big Bear Yarns. I live in the UK in Essex with my 2 dogs, my cat and my sister. And this is my podcast where I will talk about anything I've been knitting or crocheting, what I'm reading or listening to, and anything else that, pops into my head. So I'll just get started. I have one finished item this week, which is a pair of socks. These are my own hand-dyed yarn in my soft sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get 400 meters per 100 grams. This is all over variegated yarn, not speckled. There was no speckling involved, it's just variegation. But it's one of those yarns where every couple of stitches is a different colour. And I don't know about you, but I don't think this is pulled in an unsightly way. I like it anyway. This is my kind of variegation in yarn. I'm not a big one for huge blocks of colour. So yeah, this is Country Garden. I've got it in the skein here so you can see. It looks like in the skein. Just pinks and greens and purples. I did these ones, they're for me. Thumbnail. These are for me. They are my kind of shorty socks. I've discovered I don't like shorty socks, ones that are just a bit of cuff and then straight into the heel flap or whatever kind of heel you do. I always do the heel flap and gusset the slip stitch heel. That's what fits perfectly for me and the people I make socks for. Yeah, I don't like shorty socks that are just a bit of cuff and then straight into the heel flap and things. They constantly fall down in my shoes and that drives me bonkers. So this is 20 rounds for a little bit of a leg, and I'll just stick up top of my trainer and fit me perfectly. So this is 64 stitches, 20 rounds of a 2x2 twisted rib, 20 rounds for the leg, heel flap, heel turn, then gusset. Then for my size, I'm a UK size 7, size 6.5 to 7.5 depending on the type of shoe, I've got quite big feet for my size. I'm a size 7. I'm like 5'4", so I've got big old clumpers. So I do 70 rounds for my foot, including the gusset decreases. So 70 from the top of my heel to the toe. Then I just do the toe that's in the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla socks on DPN. 2.5mm DPNs. Anything else? Yeah, I don't do Kitchener stitch toes, closing up the toe. I just do a 3 needle bind off. I've never had an issue with them coming undone, any problems. I just do 3 needle bind off. I prefer it. I mean, yes, I do prefer the look of the Kitchener stitch toe, but I don't like doing it, and I would just end up, I don't really do the things that I don't like doing. This should be fun. The whole thing, as much as possible, should be fun. Like, yes, I don't like doing 20 rounds for my cuff, because you know the ribbon is the most sort of, I don't know, taxing. And these, because I mean, I know that you got the heel flap and the gusset and that, and in some ways, yes, they are. You have to think every single, like once you get past the heel flap and you're on the heel turn, for example, every round, what's rows, isn't it, at that point? Every row you have to be thinking what you're doing, because you're doing something different every time. But the magic of the turn, where it's sort of like you're knitting then a cross, kind of skews my perception of that. Yeah, so these were socks number 21 for the year. For me, I'm going to put them in my cubby over here so I can take a photograph at the end of the month of all my finished items. I have actually another finished item I forgot because I'm wearing it. So, let me show you. This, oh god, I'm so blown out. Better. This jumper has not been blocked, and it has Dita hair all over it because I foolishly left it on my bed, and then Dita climbed on it and snuggled up into it, so it will have quite a bit of white dog hair on it, but there we are. Let's move my hair out of the way. Let's try and get it so we can see what we're looking at. Like this, probably better. There we go. Oh. So this is my pattern, the spring crochet sweater. Oh gosh, well, so I did this basically to pattern, which is a DK yarn with a 5.5mm crochet hook, except for the cuffs. For the cuff, I didn't go down as much as I call for in the pattern because I wanted a slightly more open cuff. In the pattern it calls to go down to a 4mm hook. I went down to a 4.5. This is like a bracelet length jumper, which is just what I wanted. Let me sort my hair out a bit. So yeah, this was a finished item. It hasn't been blocked. I'm pretty bad about blocking my own things. If it's knitted, I'm more likely to block it. As it's crochet, I don't know, I just don't tend to block as much. This is Drops Cotton Merino in navy. I'll put a link down below of the exact colour. I had 9 balls. I got 9 of it. It comes in 50g. I know I've been through this before. What are these? These are not balls. It's not a cake. It's not a hank. Anyway, we'll call them balls because, you know, we'll call them balls. I've got 9 of these 50g balls, and I've got this and I know, like a nugget of it left. So this is probably 2/3 left. I used for my original sample, hold on, I was actually quite prepared. I brought my original sample down with me. Proud of myself. Actually thinking ahead ever so slightly. I was just checking to see if I'm actually recording because I thought this would be perfect. I'm sitting here saying how like I'm thinking ahead and, you know, I didn't actually press record. That would be typical. So here was my original sample. It's quite old now. My original sample. It's a cropped jumper. Oh. There we go. It's a cropped, like, I did actually one other thing differently on this, because this one has quite a short bottom ribbon, whereas for this one I did a much longer ribbon. I did it probably about, you know, quite a bit longer. I didn't really count. I was just doing it by vibes, seeing how I felt. So this one was crocheted, which I'm not actually, I mean, I like it, it's very wearable. Once you wear it and it's on your body, it warms up and it feels good, but linen can be a bit dry. So this was in, this isn't the colour because I don't have any of that colour, but the yarn, I did get a ball out, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Ah, got it. Drops Bell, which is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. So this isn't the colour, this is a much pinker colour. This is like a, I think this one, I can't remember, I'll put the colour of what this one is down below. I don't know which one suits me better, I think this one does. But anyway, that's not the point of this. On track. It is a lovely yarn, and I've had this jumper for years, like 4 years, and I wear it very regularly. Like this gets washed at least 4 or 5 times a month, every single month. So it's held up very well. There's no pilling, there's no, the colour's faded a bit, I would say. The colour's not the same, but that's just the nature of clothing really, isn't it? The more you wash it, the more, regardless of if you've made it or anything. So yeah, another finished item. Just have a sip of my water. It's so hot here today. So, socks, jumper, they're only finished items. Okay, let me just pop this aside and I'll go on to things I am working on. So, let's see. Oh yeah. So, you've already seen sea glass. So, still attached. Oh yeah, I've got a bit to go. Why didn't I finish these off then? They weren't with my, alright, that's not anything you need to know about. Almost done with sock number 2. I've only got about 7 rounds to go until I can cut this yarn and attach for the toe. So I shall have 2 of them. These are for my mum. They are 64 stitches, knit on 2.5mm DPNs. The slip stitch heel turn. Yeah, they're on the 10cm DPNs by Addy. Again, like I said last week, I'm hoping I've got enough to complete the toe. We'll see. But I'll still probably have more than, I'll definitely have more than 10 grams left of this. This can't actually go into my granny square blanket yet. Oh, I didn't say, I used for my shorties, I had exactly 50 grams left of my yarn. So the 100-gram skeins are pretty universally always more than 100 grams. Like the 20-gram skeins are normally 22 grams. So you probably use just over 50 grams to do those shorties. Then we have, oh yeah, I've done nothing on these. I don't think I've done, I think I'm at the same spot. Top of the heel flap. the Merino sock in Burgundy. I'll probably be sneezing quite a bit, or maybe I won't, we'll see. Yeah. These ones are Cascade Heritage for me, just vanilla socks down to the toe. Just need to do the toe and I'll be on to the next bit for that. I like the Cascade Heritage yarns. I'm wearing a pair of Cascade Heritage now in the prints. Colour number 128. It's very pretty. Oh gosh, we're really blowing out again. Yeah. So that one. Cascade Heritage is a soft yarn. It's a very soft one. It doesn't wear through quite as quickly. It doesn't really pill either in the way that the Yarnsmiths Merino is. Like, these socks have been very worn. Do not judge me. I've had these socks probably 2+ years. And I wear them all the time in the summer. They're felting a lot inside, but they don't pill in the same way as some of the others. Like, they get a bit fluffy on the outside and things, but the Yarnsmiths Merino sock pills very quickly. My sister has a pair that I gave her for Christmas, so what, 4 months ago, and they look more fluffy, much more fluffy. Like, you could de-pill them if they weren't socks. Then these are years old, but she prefers the texture, so even if she wears through them with her stomp, because she's a stomper, she stomps. So even if she stomps through them, I'll just make more. It's not a problem for me. So these ones, I think I've made some progress on them, but they're not done yet. Sock number 1. Sock number 2, we are down to the toe. For my mum, oh, they're really pretty in that colour. That colour is really pretty, doesn't it? These are the King Cole Norse. You've seen these so many times, but we're on the toe now, so they will be done for next week. So you don't have to, so next week will be the last time you have to see this label and me trying to say this is colour 5405 Vali. Yeah, I don't know if you can even see that. Gosh, just dropping things. And we have to keep focused on me because otherwise I blow out entirely. Yeah, some of these socks, I know you guys have seen them for several weeks now. I haven't actually had that much time to do knitting this last week. That's why a lot of these that should have been finished were not finished, because we had an electrician in to replace the electricity box circuit board, because the circuit board in this house was a plastic one underneath the staircase, and we were told that circuit boxes, the big fuse boxes, should not be plastic because they're not fire resistant. So as it was under the stairs as well, it meant if there had been a fire, electrical fire, our only means of escape during the night would have been on fire. So that was something we had to get done. So we had an electrician in from Tuesday to Thursday, redoing all of that and putting up, he put up the lights as well in our dining room. They're very pretty. We're very happy with them. So yeah, he was in, so I was locked in the front room with the dogs all week. I don't know about you, but when there's someone in the house doing things, I find it very difficult to just get on with stuff. I just feel like I can never relax. I don't know if it's like my anxiety or what, but I also don't know the right way to to be when there's like a workman in the house. I tend to just stay out of the way and let them get on with it. I think that's probably best. My fridge is humming. Or is that a bumblebee? I hope it's not a bee. Not that I have a problem with bees. I love bees. I'm slightly allergic to bees, so I hope it's not a bee. Also because my cat will try and kill it. So yeah, so a lot of these should have been off the needles by now, but I couldn't really settle down to work while he was in the house redoing that, but that's all done now. Although, turns out the shed, which is our utility room, the electrics in there, could have killed us. There was no earth, so if there had been a problem with any of the things that we plugged in there, they would have been toast, just crisped up, gone. So we have got no electricity in our shed currently, so, but it's better to not have electricity in our shed than to be dead. Wise words, I know, but it is true. Next. Oh yeah, I've actually made progress on these ones. So as you already know, sock number 1 done. I love these stripes. These stripes is what inspired me to buy, which I shouldn't have done, but I did do it, so you know, no point regretting what you've already done, is there? You might as well just enjoy it. The Cascade yarn I bought to do stripy socks. Although when it comes time to weave in all the ends, I might change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind, aren't I? So, done the cuff and the leg, and I've cut the yarn, so I'll be doing the heel flap soon. These ones are in my own hand-dyed yarn. This, the pink here is Pink Skies. Then you have Rose Tea. Then you have Pink Skies and Aphrodite's Blush. I have no more Rose Tea sock, plain soft Merino sock left in my shop. I have a load of DK, the Merino DK, which is a slightly softer colour. I have shown that previously, so I won't bring it all out now. But it is soft. It's a softer colour than on the sock. I've got some sparkle. I've got sparkle left on the Rose Tea. So yeah, these ones hopefully will be done next week. Fingers crossed. Well, they should be, because I don't have anyone coming in. Oh, we do actually. We might be having people come in. Well, they probably won't be coming into the house. They'll be on the outside looking at the fascias and soffits, because they need to be fixed up a bit. But that shouldn't stop me getting on with stuff. Yeah. I'm really trying to stay on track. It's always a little bit of a challenge. I messed these socks up so badly. If I was more of an A-type personality, as I think a lot of knitters are, I would go back and redo part of these socks, but no, I won't. These ones, socks number 1, came up perfectly. God, they're so vibrant, aren't they? They're lovely. This would have made a lovely cardigan. So I'd envisioned making a cardigan with all this yarn. and wearing it with like an all black outfit, you know, black jeans, a t-shirt, and having this like pop of colour. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not gonna knit a cardigan in 4-ply. I need more instant gratification than that. Yeah, I just did a slight pearl stitch detail. Just did 10 rows where you purl, and then the next round you knit, and then you purl, then you switch it over, 3 stitches, then back. So sock number 1 done. Sock number 2, I messed up quite a lot, but I'm not going to go back and change it. No, here's what it is. They're for me anyway, who cares? I don't. So it was all fine on this side. But this side was here, and then I did one of the bumps there, and then for some reason I forgot I was meant to be doing them all here. I did another row here, I did another lot here, and I did the same thing again here. I said to myself, okay, just messed up once, it's fine, we'll just keep going and we'll pick up the pattern on the next 10 rounds. And I messed up it a second time. I don't know why. And then, to make it worse, to compound that problem, I then forgot, when I was doing my gusset decreases, that I was also meant to be doing pattern. So this whole bit here doesn't have any of the pattern on it. Oh well, I'm not going back and changing it. And that's partly why I don't knit garments so much, because if I was doing a garment, and I messed up, I would just frog the whole thing. I wouldn't go back and change it. I wouldn't be dropping down or tinking back. I would be so annoyed with myself, I would just unravel the whole thing. That's not productive. It would be much better to tink back, but no, I wouldn't. I know myself. So I've got this much left, which again probably will be more than 10 grams, so that won't be going into my blanket anytime soon. And then we've got this one. Oh, I'm getting really hot. Hold on, I'm just going to take this jumper off, and then take this jumper off, and then I will be back. So hot in here today. I'm just not built for the hot weather, you know. Dreading summer. Oh well. It has to come round, doesn't it? So, let me see. Oh yeah, we have a new sock. A cast on. This is meant to be one of the ones from April that were meant to be cast on. I didn't get cast on because I was a slowpoke. So I don't know who these are for yet. I've got time to work that out. So it's just a 2x2 rib. I was on a 2x2 twisted rib kick for a while, but I think I'm going off of that again. I'm going back to just a 2x2 rib. This is in my own yarn, which was this was the full skein of a sock set that was in my shop several years ago, and the one left, it wasn't selling, so I pulled it out because it's so pretty. This it's yellows and like, it's yellow and purple, but where the yellow and purple meet has this soft pastel green, minty kind of green. So I'm doing that. I've got scrap from my Christmas sock set. This is about, there's quite a bit left in here. This is about, I think, 16 grams. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do stripy socks. I'm going to do one round of this and then one round of this. I'm going to do that down, 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 maybe for 10, 15 rounds. Then I'm going to do 5 of this, then do the stripes again, then do the heel in the blue, then do then I might do this. I'll see how it goes. Who knows? 2.5mm Knit Pro Zing. 64 stitches. They're all going to be 64 stitches unless I say otherwise. So that's a new cast on. Now I've got one more sock, and I have made a little, very little bit of progress on it. Sorry, DT. Accidentally nudged her with my foot. She's sleeping at my feet. So I decided with these bedtime ones that I'm not going to use the colour. I'm going to keep these colours to do stripy King Cole Norse socks. So I've got 1 or 2 more colours. There are more colours of this that I didn't buy, but I'm not buying any more yarn for a long time. No more sock yarn at the very least, because I have a lot to get through, and that's not even including knitting shop samples and knitting through my scraps. Are all, I'm pointing it all behind the camera. So yeah, I'm going to make some scrappy socks out of these, probably a couple of pairs of scrappy socks, because there's quite a bit left of each of them. There's not 50 grams left, it's all under 50, but I'll pop that there. So these are Paintbox, I was going to say Paintbox Heritage, but that's not, that's Cascade. Paintbox solids. I got these several years ago actually. They must have been reduced to clear, but I don't know, it maybe didn't say that, or I didn't notice. But they don't seem to have any of the solids anymore in the shop. They have the prints, the patterned, the self-patterning ones, which I do have some of those as well. Oh, I think no, I haven't cast them on yet. There are a cake over there. I just have some more water. No, I'm gonna have some coffee actually. Sorry for the clinking. It's a homemade iced coffee with a hazelnut syrup, but I got the sugar-free one, and you can really taste the sweetener, and it's not good, so I'm putting a little sprinkle of actual sugar on my ice cubes before I put the syrup on, so it sort of like melts, and that's helped a lot. I do get that it defeats the object of being sugar-free if I've added sugar, but it doesn't taste great. So back to the socks. This is in a blush pink, I think. Oh, sorry, my nose is so itchy. I think it's my own hair that's itching me. Also, I'm allergic. I'm not allergic to the cat, but I am allergic to the cat, and she slept on my bed yesterday, and I forgot that she slept on my pillow, and so now I've got very itchy eyes and a sniffy nose. Blush pink in a rustic kind of wool. I've already gone through all this, so unless you're new, this must be incredibly boring. Sorry. I've finished the cuff, 2x2 rib. You're gonna see a lot of 2x2 ribs, I think, at the moment. So I'm doing a pattern, just messing around with stitches. So I'm doing like I'm thinking I've done it on this, which is the first, this is needle 1. I've done a 2x2 rib on this bit, but it's the opposite to the ribbing on the cuff. Probably be more noticeable once I've gone down. Then this is the 10th round, so I'm going to switch the ribbon round. So I've been purling 2, knitting 2, purling 2. I'm going to start with knitting 2 and do that for 10 rounds. And on this side I did a little eyelet, but I don't know, it doesn't look particularly great, so I think I might just forget about that. We'll see. I don't know who these are for. They're not for my sister. She doesn't really like this yarn. It's too rough for her. So I was just reading the news article, the thing that popped up on the screen. Yeah, I don't know who they're for yet. I'll figure that out later. So I've made some progress on my granny blanket shawl. I think it is going to be a shawl. I think I'm going to keep going until it's bigger and then seam it together in a triangle and use it as a shawl. Because my problem is with a blanket like this is I can be pretty absent-minded, and Dita especially likes to scrabble at blankets. She'll get little claws in there and she's gonna like rip it up, and my concern is if I use this as a blanket, especially with how holey it is, she's just gonna rip it to pieces. And yeah, I could pick it up and not leave it on the sofa, but I'm old enough to understand I am going to leave it on the sofa. I will start with the best of intentions and I will just leave it there, and I'll come back in, and I can't even blame her because it'll be my own fault for leaving it there. So yeah, it's going to be a shawl. Where did I get to? Okay, so I started here and I was right at the end of this round, so went up and turned, went back. So I think you have used up most of those minis from the Stylecraft Walking in Nature socks skip in this. I think that's almost all of it used up now. So I've done like half a round. Let me pull this so it doesn't unravel in the bag. Yeah. Oh gosh, blimey. I got this much left of that colour. And I think I've done half a round pretty much. Yeah, that's where I started. So I'm getting there. I probably, let me see where we are size wise. Yeah, we're getting there. I'll probably be do about a third again of this size. It's also a bit chaotic to be a blanket. Oh, you probably can't hear it because I'm recording on my phone, so it doesn't pick up everything, but they're picking up the big wheelie bins for the household rubbish, so if you do hear anything like that, that's what you're hearing. What was I saying? Yes, it's a bit chaotic as well to be like an out on display blanket like this, but actually at the top here from this this is pumpkin spice. From here upwards it's not as chaotic, however the big middle bit definitely is very chaotic. So it might be a bit too chaotic anyway to be, oh god, oh, sorry, hair going everywhere. Let me see if I can grab the end of this. I'm literally unraveling the whole thing. I say that, but then my absolute favourite blanket that I've made is a pure scrap blanket. It was just all these random bits are old projects. My dad, he had bought me, he knows, obviously he knew I knit and crocheted and loved yarn. So every time we go into a charity shop, and they had yarn, he would just buy all of it, really. He would just say how much for the whole lot. And he'd often he got some really good deals. He got all this like sparkly mohair. I made the dress actually that I wore for his funeral in, but it was these big cakes of merino yarn, as well as like 2 bin bags full of yarn for £20. So sometimes it was a winner. Yeah, so back to the story. A lot of the yarn from that blanket were just like odd nuggets of yarn that were in the bag from the charity shop, and this were like 20-gram acrylics and things that you only had 20 grams of and things, so you couldn't make anything with it. So I just added all that in, and it's totally scrappy, and I just put it all into a bag and just pulled out anything, and that was the next thing. I would just pick grab a colour, then decide on a stitch and just do that stitch. Every colour has a different stitch, not obviously completely, but got to repeat stitches. But yeah, and that's my favourite blanket. But maybe the different stitches in some ways muted the amount of colour. I don't know. Is that everything? No. No. Oh. Try not to knock everything over. So I haven't done a lot on this at all. I popped it in a wool warehouse bag. I think I've done 1 row. I did put a stitch marker in now so I can see. One, yeah. That's my little cat stitch marker I make in my shop. Haven't got any at the moment. This one was a broken one. The tail snapped off. But yeah, I'll just move this up actually so I don't forget. I intend to have more of this done this week because the hole in my wardrobe is cardigans. I need some cover-ups. Oh no, I've done a row and a half. I think I'm halfway through that row. I really need to be better about pull. Oh no, I have got a big loop. Good. Yeah, I need cardigans. I need to crack on. I've almost used up that little ball. I've got this other half because it got so tangled. I balled these up before I had a Swift. It got so knotted I threw away a whole load of a hank. And then these ones have been caked up with my Swift and ball winder. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 100-gram cakes, and this is probably about 50, probably about 60 grams here. So I'll have more than enough to do a cardigan, I think. Yes, but I'm going to be cracking on with that. Definitely going to be making progress on that for next week. Probably. Let me just get my hair out of my way. Oh. It's not even that hot today. It's only a high of 19 degrees Celsius. It just feels so hot. I don't know if it's just because we're coming out of winter, so it just feels hotter than it is, but it does not feel good. So that's everything, I think. Oh no, I did start something new, which actually looks very messy because I don't even know if it's going to work out. This is just, I'm going to put like a little bit of ribbon on it, so it's not going to be, this is just the beginning of it. So it's going to be a jumper, just increasing like a raglan in this yarn I got from B&M years ago. B&M is like a, if you're not in the UK, it's a shop that just sells a bit of everything. It sells some food, it sells pet things, home things, crafting things, gardening. It's got like a garden centre on it. It's a bit of everything. So I got this yarn. I've got still got some of it left years ago. So I thought I'd just do like a winter jumper that I'd start now. So we'll see what progress I'm at. I'm doing this in the waistcoat stitch. Well, that's been done in waistcoat stitch. It's in this Sparkle Glamorous yarn. This, which is 150 grams. And does it say what it is? Yeah, it's 91% acrylic and 9% metallic yarn. Approximately 375 meters. So it's pretty firmly in the DK category, isn't it? Yeah, so I've measured out what I've got, so I should have enough. I've got more of the grey and the pink than the gold and the white, which is why I'm repeating the gold and the white every other. So I'm doing grey, pink, white, grey, pink, gold, and I'll do grey, pink, white for that. I'll see once I've done the got down to splitting for my sleeves what I'm looking at with yarn amounts and how much has been used up, because I've kept a tally of everything I've got so far, so I'll be able to work out what I've used once I get to done the arms, because then I'll just have to use I won't be increasing anymore, so I'll be able to work out what I'll have left. And back onto cardigans. I was digging through my stash upstairs because I really want to work through most of the acrylics I've got, because they don't really speak to me as much as they used to, but I do still like them for wearability and washability. So I've got this Stylecraft 4-ply. I've got 3 colours. I actually have more than 3 colours, but I'm thinking I'm going to use these 3 colours for the cardigan. I've got just over 3 of each colour. The other ones are down here somewhere. I've only taken about 5 or 6 grams out of each of them, so that will be more than enough. So what I'm looking at, I was looking through all my crochet magazines for a pattern that I made years ago. Can't find it, but I did find what I made. So I'm thinking I can kind of reverse engineer the cardigan I made. So this is the cardigan I made. It is massively oversized. It's more of a jacket. It's in DK. I mean, I love it. I love also, you weren't meant to do it. You're meant to do the seaming inside, but I actually like the seaming being visible. I think it adds like an extra bit to the yarn. Oh, look, it's all coming out now. Anyway, because it kind of shows a bit anyway, because you use so many different colours, that it would show regardless with the way it was done in the pattern. So I'm thinking it's a like cuff to cuff, so you do you cast on the width of half your sleeve, you go up, 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 and then you increase down to the length you want it. Then you do that, well obviously if you're doing the back of it, you just go straight across, which is what I'll probably do first, because it'll be easier to work out the size I want. Then you just go all the way across, and then you decrease again until you get back down to the sleeve. So this was DK, but I'm going to do it in 4-ply. So I'm going to make it smaller. I was hoping I could find the magazine so I could just pick this size again. So I've got fluff up my nose. Yeah, I was hoping I could do this size again, but just with smaller yarn and a smaller hook. However, that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to do it, because this is much bigger than my arm. Like, it's very big. I'll show. And it's good because I can wear it as like a jacket, is what I normally would wear it as, just a jacket, but it's very, it's like very big on me. I do love this mustardy colour though. Yeah, so it's way too big. You can see like how much extra fabric there is, all this extra. So I don't want all of this extra, I want maybe this extra, so I can easily put my hand in and out, but it's not swamping me. So that's what I'm working on as well. I'm going to cake that yarn up today because I've got my Swift. Well, I don't need my Swift for that, but I've got all my caking stuff out. So I'll get those caked up and get started with that. Was there any other things I am working on or going to be? No, I think that is it for that. I've pretty much given up on Assistant to the Villain right now. I'm just not enjoying it. I don't want to. I don't want to force myself. So I'm like 70% through a Kindle Unlimited book, a book on Kindle Unlimited on Amazon, which is just a fun, like, romantic comedy. It's You're So Vain. It's like a marriage of convenience, brother's best friend, enemies to lovers romantic comedy about a single mum whose daughter needs ear surgery, and her brother's best friend is a lawyer who has lost his job and is looking for another job, and he's offered a job by a firm, but this firm thinks that the woman they saw him with a few months previously, and he saw her, the woman he was with a few months ago when they met him out and about, they thought was his wife and his daughter. So he needs to pretend to be married to her, but she needs his insurance for her daughter's ear surgery, so she'll only do it if it's actually a legal marriage, so she can get her daughter's ear surgery, and it goes from there. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's an easy read. You can just zip through it. And the other book I'm going to be starting is this one, which I've been waiting for. Been waiting for her to release a book for ages. The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata, and it looks so good. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I love all of her books. It is an incredible new romance from the Queen of the Slow Burn. Once upon a time, a girl found a magical puppy and her life was never the same again. Nina Popoka needs help, so much of it. The only place she can find that help is on a sprawling ranch in Colorado. a place hiding more than a community filled with magical creatures trying to live their lives in safety and peace. A village that might hold the answers to questions she's had her entire life, and if that ranch is owned by her best friend's hunky cousin, there are worse things in the world than having to live right next to Henry Blackrock. I love her books. She is the queen of the slow burn. Her slow burn books are never boring. You're never thinking, oh my god, get to the point. Get to the point. No. Her male main characters are green flags all round. They are not toxic. I haven't read it yet, but I can guarantee it's gonna be great. I'm still listening to City of Lies and Ruin? Let me bring that up. Let me bring that one up. No. No, it's City of Souls and Sinners. Oh gosh. There we go. Yeah, City of Souls and Sinners, book 2 of the House of Devils, I think, by Kayla Edwards. Oh, you can see my you can see my new light. It's such nice. Oh yeah, back to it. No, stay on topic. So I don't know. I've got further in listening to it, but still, it's just it feels like a lot of spice time and very little story, but the spice is also just boring. Like, you want to just skip through it, but then you're concerned, oh, maybe something will be revealed during the spice, and then I'm gonna be confused for the rest of the book. So far, the other book, the first one, I liked it enough that I went straight on to the second one. I liked the first one enough that I'm willing to keep going for a bit longer to see. Also, I'm listening to it on audio, and the female narrator, no notes, she's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. The one doing the male voice, I don't know, he just sounds super corny. Like, everything he says just sounds like super cheesy. Like, I don't know, it's just, I cringe half the time when he says anything, because he says it like in this super earnest, all-American Captain America kind of way, and it's like, you're just making me cringe. So that's part of probably why I'm not enjoying it that much. I could forgive it in the previous book because there was so much story going on, so it didn't matter if he was a bit cringy because the actual story kept you engaged enough that you didn't mind his odd choice of narration. So I'm gonna keep going with it for a bit longer, but so far I would give it like 2 stars if I was being generous, 2 out of 5, and that would only be because I've got some goodwill left from the first book. Right. I don't know, going into what I've been watching. What did we watch on the weekend? We watched we watched a new film on Netflix, which was with Vince Vaughn. Norse, I think it is. With, oh my god, like, Susan Sarandon. What is going on with her? Because she looks incredible. And I looked up her age, and she's like basically 80. She's almost 80 years old. She looks fantastic. I don't know who her surgeon is, but they are doing a good job. Because she does not look like doesn't look like she's been through like a wind tunnel. She's so beautiful. Oh yeah, Norse. It was a really good, heartwarming film. Nothing like spectacular, but just a really good, feel-good film. And obviously we're watching The Last of Us. I'm not going to say anything that might spoil anything for anyone, but episode 2, I don't cry. I say I don't cry, as in, like, even in real life, probably since I've been an adult, since I've been a teenager, probably about 10 times, and I'm almost mid-30s, so I've cried very rarely. I almost cried in episode 2. It was close. I could feel myself welling up a little bit. That was very upsetting. So you're watching that, and we're also watching the four seasons with Steve Carell and Tina Fey. It's very good. I'm enjoying that a lot. We're on, it's like, I think it's 2 episodes per season, roughly. So we're on to the first episode of winter. I'm loving it. It's really good. So I think that's pretty much everything I brought to talk about. So I haven't got any, obviously, because we had the electrician in last week, so I couldn't do any dyeing. So I will be doing some dyeing this week, and I'm going to be dyeing up some, I've had an inquiry from a customer about some more high tea, which I'm really glad about because I love high tea. High tea is a lot of effort to dye, but it's so beautiful. It's blues and greys and warm gold. I'll show you it next week because I'll have dyed it up this week. So it's so pretty. It's one of my favourites. I say that about most of my colours. But then, to be fair, they should be my favourites if I dye them. It'd be a bit weird if I didn't like them. So yeah, I haven't dyed any colours, but I will, oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to be dyeing mini skein sets. So I'm going to be doing, it's going to be like a warm browns with like purples and gold. And I think each of they'll be speckles. It'll have 5 or 6, 5 I think, 20 gram minis. Pardon me, you probably heard that one. How embarrassing. Oh well. 5 20 gram minis, and each of them in my planning, they'll be speckled. All of them will be very sharp pops of speckle, and they will all have the same warm brown speckle through them, so it'll be like golden and brown. It'll be like a mauvey and the brown speckle all through, so it's going to be like the kind of cozy warm feeling of the cusp of spring summer, with a kind of like a beekeeper feel to it, like the colours of some of the soft flowers that bees might visit, the kind of honeycomb and the, you know, apiary things. So that's what I'm envisioning. I had thought about doing pastel, like a pastel kind of spring set, but I think doing a pastel one was just trying to fit into the vibe of springtime. And I'm just not a pastel kind of gal, you know? It just doesn't speak to me, and I don't want to be disingenuous and try and dye things that I think people will want, because in my experience of dyeing, the colours I've dyed because I like the colours and I would want to use that yarn are the colours that do best. Every single time. Every time I dye a colour that I dye for reasons to try and fit a trend, try and like match this aesthetic that seems to be popular, it doesn't work because it's not genuine. But the colours I do, where I just put together colours I like, a feeling I want to experience, they sell out. So I'm going to stick to my guns and do my speckled minis that I would want to work with, and I hope you guys do too. So on that note, I haven't got any colours that I can show that are new to the shop, but I thought I'll show you a couple of other colours that are already existing in my shop that you might like to purchase. So here was a flower garden mini skein set. This is 5 20-gram minis. Each mini is 80 meters. They're 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And this is probably as close as I will get to pastels in general. Like this and this is probably as pastel as I go. So you get orange and peach. I love this colour. I love this colour so much. This colour is the colour that inspired, but it's very different to the full skein in the Zinnia sock sets. It's orange and peach, and then you've got pink. This is a light pink and a darker pink, and then each of these are 2 tones of the same kind of colour. This is like, well, apart from this one, which is orange and pink, orange and peach. So peach is sort of on the orange side of pink anyway, isn't it? Then you've got the pink one, and you've got the 2 shades of blue, which gets quite dark at the bottom here. Then you've got the 2 purples, and you've got the yellow. See, I'll show you actually. Let me I've caked it up. The Zinnia one. You see, this is generally how my colours go. I think to myself, oh, I should dye up some pastels and all soft and lovely heading into spring. And then I get to a dye pan. I just add the colour. And it turned out absolutely love it. This kind of bold pink and peach. Oh, it just does something to me, this. So this colour inspired this one. So I've got several of these in my shop at the moment. And I thought I'd also show you another colour that is, because this one was new to this year. This was new for the late winter, early spring. This is an older colour that was introduced, well, it was introduced last year, but it's been extraordinarily popular, and I get why, because again, it's one of my favourites. Yeah, I know, I say that every time, but it's true. I love them all. See, that's my issue with so many things, is that I love colour. Like, yes, I wear black a lot, and at heart, I'm just a goth girl, but I still love colour, and that's why I like decorating. I could find a good thing about any colour. You show me a colour and I'll find something about it that is good. So I have to, I don't know how that, anyway, let's get back to the yarn. So I've got several bases. This is Fallen Leaves, which is definitely one of my favourite yarns. It's actually as well one of my favourite ones to dye, because I just love the dye process of this one. This is in the 60% superwash merino, 20% nylon and 20% silk base. So this is a bit thinner than my sock, normal sock. This is 425 meters per 100 grams, which is still in the 4-ply. You can still knit socks with this, but just beware that you might have to alter your stitch count ever so slightly. This is the Big Bear. I put a short up this week of Odin. He is the Big Bear you will see on my labels. I can tell you why Big Bear yarns and how he inspired. I'll tell you that in a minute. So this is it on my standard sock. This is a 50-gram skein. This is what it looks like on Sparkle. I'll show you them all together in a minute so you can see how they do vary ever so slightly. It's on Sparkle Sock. Sparkle Sock is the same meterage as my merino sock. Then we've got it on mohair, which is 65% superwash merino, 20% nylon and 15% kid mohair. It's very soft. And I also have it on DK merino sock. This is Fallen Leaves, which is a very popular colour in the shop. As soon as autumn comes round, this colour will be gone. So this is what it looks like on the different bases. Some of them come out much pinker. There's no pink in it. Brighter. Ouch. I'm pulling my own hair. Hold on. Let me get this out of the way. Oh. Got my hair caught in the car door the other day. That was really painful. I do that quite a lot actually because my hair is very long. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so it looks quite different. Just keep on track. This is how it looks on all the different bases. Obviously it depends on what end of the skein, for instance, you're showing. Like you can say this, oh, this one's brighter than this one, which yeah, when you hold them this way it looks like it, but then you can turn this around this way and it's like, oh no, you know. So oh yeah, so Big Bear Yarns is the yarn part of my business, and the AnnaKnittingPretty is like what I started with, selling finished items and patterns. So Big Bear Yarns came from my dog Odin. He is an Alaskan Malamute crossed American Akita, and both of those breeds are in the top top 5 of fluffy dogs that blow their coat. They're both of the breeds, like I think it's probably like Samoyed would be number 1, then number 2 would be like the Malamute, 3 would be the Akita, then you've got like Huskies, and so he blows his coat every year, and I would put it out for the birds, but with the amount of fluff he blows, it's too much for the birds, and it seems a waste because it's so beautiful and white. So I decided to try, which might make me seem like a crazy person, but I am what I am. I've kept his yarn, his fur, and I've washed it. I've used like dog shampoo with like the whitening just to get a bit brighter. Wash it through, dry it, and then get combs and like prepare it like you would wool, like comb it and things. And I've got a drop spindle that I've been learning to spin yarn because I want to make a jumper to wear of Odin's fluff that I can wear while I walk him, because I can tell people, oh, it's my dog fur jumper, and they'll think I'm they'll be like, oh my god, she's like killing dogs. No, it's just the fluff. It's just the fluff. So yeah, I've got a whole, like, I've got loads of I need to process actually in the front room. So I'm not very good at the drop spindle at the moment, and the more I've looked into it, I think I'm going to have to buy some wool to go with it. So I'll spin it together, some wool. I'm thinking, DT Pie, don't do that, baby. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to use something like, I quite like the Jacob yarn. I used something Jacob black, no, because it was, I can't remember. But there's a woman on Etsy who's roving I like. So I'm going to be spinning, so that's how I started with the yarn. Then I saw all this hand-dyed yarn and I loved it, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. So I thought I'll buy some yarn and I'll buy some dye and I'll start dyeing some yarn. and then I really loved it, so I started getting it to sell it. So basically, yeah, that's how I got into the whole yarn dyeing thing. Was from this big guy trying to make him into a jumper. My bear. So I've got a lot of his I've got to process, which I've got loads I've got to wash from this year. I've got a whole like bags and bags full of it. I might record some bits of that. Actually, I could do a couple of videos, couldn't I, the preparing of it and things, so other people might, because it's not that uncommon around the world to use dog fur for these things. Like I was watching a woman's vlogmas the other day. What is her name? Traveling Miss Knits. Her vlogmas from 2024 I was watching, and one of her friends gifted her a yarn which is Border Collie and a type of wool. I can't remember what wool it was. It might have been Corriedale or something. But yeah, so people use dog fur for things like that, and it's super warm. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing soon. I always put off preparing it because it gets everywhere, like in your face, and so fluffy. But anyway, I should probably let you guys go now because we've been over an hour and I don't want to chat on for too long. So thank you for watching. I should have several more finished items, and hopefully you won't have to see those same socks over and over and over and over and over again next week. I will get those socks off my needles and have new ones to show, and I will make some progress on some things. I will. So thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who has liked and commented and subscribed. That does help quite a lot with the algorithm. So if you did like this video and you wanted to like it, I wouldn't stand in your way. If you wanted to subscribe as well, I wouldn't stop you. So I will hopefully see you next week. Next week I will be recording as usual, but I will be recording, I think, 2 videos next week, because the week after I will be in Ireland when my video would come up and when I'll be recording. So I will record on the Friday before I go and schedule the video to upload as usual. There might be a delay in that because of Wi-Fi and things. My uncle doesn't have the internet connected to his house, so I'll have to be using the Wi-Fi on my phone and that, so if that dips out. But I'll tell you more about that next week because that's not relevant to this episode. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.